Howdy. So this is the last video for the assignment, the portfolio page, template page assignment. And in it, so we need to just do a few things here. So what we have right now is we have the home page, which is called index HTML. We've developed it exactly the way we want it to look, okay? And we want all of the other pages that are going to be in this portfolio, the portfolio page and the reflection, we want them all to look exactly the same. So that's why we develop a template page first. We get the template page working, looking the way that we want it exactly, and then we save it multiple times as something different. We name the file differently. Okay, so when we save it, we don't make any edits to like this stuff, the page layout. The only edits that we'll make is instead of having page heading, you'll actually, replace the text page heading with text that matches each page, and then you'll actually add content. So basically the only changes you will make will be right here in the section part, right? In the section element of the page. But the header, the nav, the footer, they will all stay the same. You will not make changes to them, okay? So, as such, now that we have it in this finalized format, what we're going to do is we've got an index page, but we need to save two other pages. We need to save the portfolio page and we need to save the reflection. So we've got this one, it's exactly the way that we want it. So we're going to say, okay, we're going to save this. And instead of calling it index HTML, actually, let's cancel this for a minute. Okay, so we're going to come up here. We're going to save this document as the portfolio page. So I'm going to change right away. I'm going to change the assignment name to portfolio page, if I can type, in the comment. And then the title is going to be changed to portfolio. Okay. Now I'm going to come up here and go File, Save As. I'm going to call it portfolio.html. We want to make sure that it's spelled correctly because if it's not, the links won't work appropriately. Okay, so we save this one. So now we have two documents that look exactly the same. One is called index.html, the other one is called portfolio.html. So now we need just one more, the one that is for this reflection link, and that is reflection.html. So I'm going to come up here, I'm going to change the assignment name to reflection, and I'm going to change the title to reflection as well. Okay, so then I'm going to come up here and I'm going to say File, Save As, and this time I'm going to say reflection.html. Pull this down to all files, and then I'm going to save it. Okay, so if I have made no errors in like writing my links or naming my files, my links up here should all work appropriately. So right now I'm on the index page whose title is Home. Okay, if I click the portfolio link, it should open the portfolio.html page and its tab should say portfolio. So let's try. Sure enough. Okay, now from this portfolio page, if I click on this reflection link, it should go to the reflection.html page and its tab should say reflection. Voila. Okay, so the links all work appropriately. All right, so with that, this is done. Okay, I want to talk briefly about what is what I expect to see when you submit things. Okay, so I have three categories here. I have elements of the portfolio template page that must be different. I have elements of the portfolio template page that can be similar. And then I have elements of the portfolio page that must be the same. Okay, so with that, the things that must be different, of course, your header image must be different. It must be your header image, the one that you created that has your name in it. Okay, Your color palette must be unique. You cannot use the color palette that I used. Okay, you can actually, let me clarify that. You could use the color palette that I used, but you cannot use it in the same order. Like you couldn't use that color for the background of the header, or the color I selected for the background of the nav and the footer. Your colors for each section must be different than those in my page. Your text color selection for the H1 header must be unique. It cannot be the same color I used. The font families you use, they must be unique. You cannot use the same font families that I used. Okay? With that, what can be similar? Okay, well, the color for your links. I chose black. That's a basic color. You can use that same color for your links, okay? You can also use the same font size for the footer text. I chose 12 because it's nice and it's smaller than the rest. If you choose 12, that's fine too. You may also use any of the padding selections that I applied to the page I created, okay? That's fine. However, any of these things, the color for the links, the size for the footer text, or the padding selections, the things that makes white space, you can adjust those as you see fit. You can keep them or you can adjust them. That's your choice. Okay, parts of the portfolio that must be the same. Must be the same, okay? The link names, they all of the links on your pages must use the name home, portfolio, and reflection. Okay, the href attributes to each of those links must be identical to what I wrote, because that's how all the links work appropriately, is that you name them exactly the same way I named them. Okay, you must also include an email link that points to your address. However, it doesn't need to use the text contact me. It can say something else, email me, click here to email me, or whatever, just so long as the text that is used explains what that link does. Message me, that explains what the link does. Contact me, that explains what the link does. If you say something else that doesn't explain, then that's not appropriate. Okay? So then finally, the submission requirements. Sorry about the underlines here. It's in Word format, so it's trying to tell me that these things are spelled incorrectly. Okay, so you should have 3 HTML files in your final project folder. You should have the index.html, the portfolio.html, and the reflection.html page within the final project folder. Your final project folder should have an images folder, and within that should be your header image and your space image. Each of the comment sections, each of the comments of each of your pages must be updated. So, the portfolio page needs to say in the comment that it is the portfolio page. The reflection page needs to say that it is the reflection page. Similarly, the title, so what you see in the browser's tab, the title needs to be updated as well. So the index page has home as the title. The portfolio page needs to have portfolio as the title. The reflection needs to have reflection page needs to have reflection as the title. Okay? The final project must be zipped. It has to be zipped, and all of those elements I just talked about must be inside of it. The zipped folder should include your name, so final_project-flash, where you replace your first initial and your last name. You submit the zipped folder for this assignment. Okay, I am going to include this document as a PDF within the assignment so that you know exactly what should be different, what should be the same, and what can be the same. Okay? And you'll know exactly what needs to be submitted. If you have questions with regards to any of this, reach out to me, please.